Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me for this segment, we have Stasia Mitchell, Global Entrepreneurship Leader at EY, to discuss the state of entrepreneurship in the U.S. and how business owners drive recovery in the markets. Stasia, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Hi, Jill, and thank you.
All right, you got it. What's the environment right now for entrepreneurship?
Yeah, we just recently convened global entrepreneurs from all over the world. And I would say the rising theme is really around impact. And when I say impact, yes, they're impacting themselves, their team, their businesses, but it's really being driven into the communities, in some cases, countries, as well as cross-border relationships. And the importance of this is, we know entrepreneurship touches our daily lives, from everything we do, live, work, play, learn, the way we communicate. And so to see this kind of changing focus into impact is good for us all. With impact drives a much better purpose, it drives much better entrepreneurial spirit, it drives better growth. But I also come to you and say this with a little bit of humility, because entrepreneurs take massive risks. And right now they are taking big hits, right? The global economy is still ever changing. There's, the economic conditions, the geopolitical conditions, the environmental conditions. So they are really taking a time to say, okay, am I really mentally and physically healthy to lead the charge here? How do I get my teams healthy and well? And then how does that translate into everything I'm doing? So it's actually a really beautiful thing. But I will say the way that they bring it all together in terms of, okay, these elements are happening, how do I make it work? It's absolutely about their access to relationships, connections, these ecosystems. So they have these collective interactions and contributions that are going to help them get through this time and scale.
It's interesting. Every time I think of entrepreneurship, the services industry always comes to mind, especially when it's so hard to fill those positions. So when you talk about the mental and physical aspects of being able to execute on a business plan for smaller companies, I do think of that often. To your point, how can entrepreneurs and business owners drive recovery in the market?
Yeah, I really think it's a time to pause and align. What is essential? What do we say yes to? What do we say no to? And do we have too many goals and initiatives? So I do think it's this time to align purpose, motivations to what your organization can really do right now. I also think it's a time for, let's call it like a rally call to our founders out there. We adore founders who become funders because they've been through it, right? They've seen the peaks and valleys. They know, what experiments can work, what people can help, the technologies that can support. And so I do think it's, entrepreneurs are seeking that. They know people can provide the money, but what about the time and energy to access the relationships, access to technologies? These ecosystems are ever more important right now because they multiply the impact on the business. And Jill, to our fellow women leaders out there, we're seeing women entrepreneurs take the lead in women-focused funds because the female funding work, it continues. We've made progress, but it still continues.
What does technology and innovation mean for entrepreneurship right now?
Tech and innovation is a constant, right? Entrepreneurs have to stay curious about the technology that's out there. They need to look at how they want to invest in that technology and experiment with it, right? So they will make good and bad choices with tech, but that's just how you have to play play in the playground. So the importance to experiment with tech and innovation, we know it drives acceleration. We know it allows them to maintain a competitive advantage and really create new opportunities that they otherwise, didn't know existed. And I think the best example of that is really the transformation in economies with digital GDP. So how businesses are operating, and even the global marketplace, right? The digital economy, it's on a rise in terms of how much it's making up for the GDP, and I believe it's operating at 2.5 times faster than physical GDP.
What's your message for entrepreneurs in the investment community?
My message is we're all in this together, right? So we offer the only global entrepreneurial program, and our purpose is to build a better working world through entrepreneurship. So I welcome entrepreneurs in the investment community to be curious about our convening power and ecosystem. Our theme this year is the art of entrepreneurship. Founders and funders come in all different shapes and sizes, colors, differing attractions, like artists. People feel different ways about some of the work that you're doing. And so I welcome them to see it, how we can bring the ecosystem together more holistically. I definitely believe we all need to contribute to the entrepreneurship.
All right. We appreciate the insight. Stasia, thanks so much for joining us on Trade Talks, and thanks for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Thanks, Jill.